Good morning, evening, or night. Wherever you are, welcome to WHAM today. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's drift through the whispers of today's world. One quiet thought at a time. As we wrap up Thursday, 29th May 2025, let's see what stories are unfolding around us. China is rapidly advancing in technology, particularly in AI and electric vehicles, impacting global trade. DeepSeek's Rome reasoning model has surpassed competitors like Meta and OpenAI, signaling a significant leap in AI capabilities. The competitive electric car market is influencing China's domestic economy and the global auto industry. Beijing's emphasis on advanced manufacturing poses potential conflicts with global trade demands. Export controls have been implemented. Ford Motor's Chicago plant had to cease production due to a shortage of Chinese-controlled magnets. The U.S. Commerce Department has advised companies against using AI chips from Hawaii, citing concerns about technological dependence and security risks. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has stressed the importance of exporting AI technology to China, arguing that the country will inevitably develop its own solutions. NVIDIA's data center division is seeing rapid growth, driven by the increasing demand for GG+ for AI software from various entities, including companies, countries, and cloud providers. Turning to the United States, the government is actively leveraging its power to influence global supply chains and trade dynamics. President Trump previously suspended exports of vital U.S.-made technologies, including airplane and semiconductor technologies, to China. The implementation of Trump's substantial global tariffs has prompted increased efforts to evade them, raising questions regarding the government's ability to effectively enforce these measures. Regarding trade and tariffs, the global tariffs initiated by Trump are creating hurdles for various sectors. Porsche is experiencing challenges in China, coupled with declining EV demand, further exacerbated by these tariffs impacting sales. The imposition of these tariffs has stimulated attempts to circumvent them. Saudi Arabia is actively pursuing foreign investment, particularly from China, through new IPOs and other opportunities. The nation's finance minister highlighted the kingdom's attractiveness to Chinese investors. A reassessment of spending is planned due to recent fluctuations in oil prices. To bolster financial ties with China, Saudi Arabia is working on collaborative tax policies and capital market initiatives. Hong Kong has introduced Asia's first ETF tracking Saudi Arabia's Islamic government bonds. Furthermore, Hong Kong and Saudi Arabia are exploring enhanced collaboration between their stock exchanges, aiming to boost trading activity. India's stock market saw a positive close on May 29th, as the Nifty 50 index climbed 81 points to 24,1833.6, and the Sensex gained 320 points, finishing at 80,1633.02 down 2. Market breadth was largely positive, with 92 stocks hitting new annual highs, compared to 29 stocks hitting lows. Adani Ports strengthened its financial position by raising 50 billion rupees through a bond offering, with the 15-year bonds fully subscribed by the Life Insurance Corporation of India. Turning to the potential public offering of OYO, 5 prominent banks, including Citi, Goldman Sachs, and Jefferies, are set to present their IPO strategies to SoftBank in London in the coming month, marking a significant step towards the company's listing plans. United States courts have put a halt to President Trump's tariff implementations. This action contests his trade strategy, which was based on the use of emergency powers. The White House is also attempting to exert control over U.S. steel. This follows a proposed sale to Nippon Steel and brings up worries about how foreign investments are monitored in the United States. Visa revocations are also coming for Chinese students with connections to the Chinese Communist Party. These revocations will also target students studying subjects the U.S. deems critical. In other news, Greenland is set to benefit from new direct flights from the United States. This is expected to boost tourism, significantly impacting Greenland's economy and infrastructure. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba urged restraint regarding escalating tariff tensions. He further committed to expanding the Asia-Pacific Trade Group. This comes as Japan faces a national debt twice the size of its economy. The debt is forcing increased pressure to curb debt finance spending. Despite tariff concerns, toilet manufacturer Toto is expanding bidded sales in the United States. Montana-based Signal Peak Energy sends 98% of its coal to Japan and South Korea, underscoring Japan's trade importance. In other news, Citi reversed the firing of a Japan trader after 5 years. South Korea's central bank has cut its key interest rate for the 4th time. The bank also significantly lowered its economic growth outlook for 2025. These changes come amid increased political uncertainty. Controversy surrounds Yoon Suk-yeol's martial law actions. The presidential race features personal attacks and disputes. The central bank's moves hint at possible future rate cuts. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen received the International Charlemagne Prize for her work promoting European unity. Simultaneously, European companies in China are struggling with soft demand and unclear government rules. Meanwhile, cryptocurrency leaders are denouncing new European crypto regulations, claiming they could aid abductions and demanding changes and better security. The United States is currently seeing increased attention on Ray Dalio's fiscal reform proposals in Washington, amid worries about the shrinking federal workforce. The workforce reduction could negatively impact American agriculture and potentially inflate food costs, while simultaneously hindering farm export. In the realm of corporate governance, auto manufacturer Stellantis has named Antonio Filosa, formerly in charge of North American operations, as the company's new chief executive. Russia's financial sector is seeing mixed signals as the central bank permits crypto derivatives for select investors. Meanwhile, economists with ties to the state are raising alarms about a potential banking crisis. Yet, the Central Bank of Russia also reported a 7% increase in net profits for Russian banks in April, showing a degree of resilience. Shifting focus to international relations, Donald Trump has criticized Vladimir Putin's actions in Ukraine, saying that Putin is playing with fire as Russian forces advance. The Russia-Ukraine conflict sees Moscow suggesting Istanbul as the venue for the next peace negotiation round on June 2. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has again voiced disapproval of Russian President Vladimir Putin amidst the ongoing war. Turning to Palantir, CEO Alex Karp has affirmed that data verification processes can be designed to preserve both data integrity and individual privacy. Palantir, known for its data analytics services primarily catering to governmental bodies, emphasizes its dedication to upholding user privacy during data analyses within sectors such as security and healthcare. The United States Court of International Trade has given the executive branch 10 days to stop President Trump's tariffs. The court ruled Trump exceeded his authority by imposing reciprocal tariffs globally. These tariffs included those on Canada and Mexico. The U.S. President's proposed tax bill features levies on remittances. This policy could significantly impact migrants and their families worldwide. Many in Africa rely on these funds. Saudi Arabia, aiming to bolster its economic ties with the African continent, saw the Saudi Exim Bank sign 4 new memoranda of understanding. These MAL are intended to increase trade and investment between Saudi Arabia and various African nations. Australia is grappling with accusations against Empire Energy for allegedly misleading investors about its gas fracking project. Despite this, Australian shares saw a boost, particularly in the banking and energy sectors, as inflation data hinted at potential rate cuts. Adding to the legal landscape, Australia is pursuing legal action against a former director of the collapsed SEX crypto exchange. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, is strategically working to expand its geopolitical influence, aligning its interests with the US in areas such as affordable energy and competition with China in artificial intelligence. The UAE's flagship crude oil is experiencing unprecedented trading volumes as OPEC increases its supply. Germany's defense sector, including companies like Renk, Hensoldt, and Rheinmetall, is exploring collaborations with the automotive industry to address increasing demands. Further demonstrating its commitment to international support, Germany's MERS has pledged to assist Ukraine in producing long-range missiles. Colombia's financial authorities have announced a public tender offer for Monero shares, leading to a temporary halt in trading on the Colombia Stock Exchange. Simultaneously, Sun Valley Investments AG disclosed a private share purchase agreement. South Africa's President Ramaphosa has assembled a panel to investigate crimes dating back to the apartheid era. Economically, the nation is considering a rate cut to stimulate growth, while producer price inflation remains steady at 0.5% year-on-year in April. The United States economy saw a 0.2% contraction in the first quarter, according to the second estimate, amidst ongoing global trade tensions. However, Asian shares and U.S. futures experienced gains after a U.S. court blocked President Trump's comprehensive tariff policies. In international affairs, the U.S. is contemplating sanctions against Brazil's Supreme Court Justice Alexandra de Moraes. Domestically, New Mexico is experiencing a surge in oil and gas production, which could potentially improve air quality by replacing some coal-fired power plants. Asaduddin Owaisi, speaking in Saudi Arabia, made a plea for Pakistan to be reinstated on the FATF grey list. Turkey's Fidan is actively seeking to revive its role as a mediator in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Libya's state oil company is facing a potential shutdown following a violent incursion by gunmen into its headquarters. Poland's exceptional market rally is encountering a reality check as upcoming elections loom. Morocco's financial markets are evolving with the introduction of the Marseille 20 futures, marking its entry into exchange-traded derivatives. Portugal's political landscape has been reshaped by the far-right Chega party, challenging the 50-year dominance of the traditional two-party system. Israel has authorized new settlement constructions, a move that is widely viewed as a hindrance to the establishment of a Palestinian state. And that's a wrap for today's news, because even headlines need a nap. Stay curious, stay kind, and let the noise fade as you find your quiet. Take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time on WHAM Today.